I'm going to show you guys a really nice spot that I take in a light tank on a cliff. And this is only from the south spawn, but this particular spot, some of you might have gone here, but it is really powerful. I am telling you, like, one of the best spots you can take in a light tank for most games. This is actually going to be one of those games where it wasn't that effective to take this spot because not that many people came up to this area of the map. So what I do is I kind of knock these couple of trees here, don't run into the cliff like I do, avoid the cliff. I'm a terrible driver, so I hit the cliff. But you sit right here, and what you can do from this area is actually take shots at everybody that's going to poke here. You can even come all the way out to here and spot people in this area. You just don't really want to shoot because then you're going to get lit. But I can shoot this even 90 through the bushes, not even get spotted by him, right? And you're able to counter this area of the map so well. So we do get 2 shots into the even. I think that's all I'm able to really get for this entire, area of the map, right? So I'm gonna kind of go on about 4 times here, guys, 2 times, 4 times, and just show you the rest of this, game. But really, like, you're gonna have more shots than this usually. I'm telling you, because a lot of people will poke up on these top areas. Let me actually pause for a second. People will poke. Can't really see it, but up on this hill, here we go. Let's do it like this. Up on this hill, people will usually try and poke in this area. They'll try and poke in this bush. This is a very popular bush for people to poke in. And if you have somebody else, obviously you will not spot them from here. But if you have somebody else poking in this area and they get lit, you can even just keep your cursor like right here and wait for this person to poke and get shots into them, right? And obviously you'll have shots going at light tanks that try and run up here like we did at the even, and you can try and get shots into people here as well. If you're creative enough with the bushes, you can make it work. Or you can just take the shots and then get kind of safe again behind this cliff. But it just wasn't really the case in this game. I couldn't believe it. But nonetheless, I wanted to show you guys this area of the map. And I'm telling you, this is a very powerful spot. You would think that a lot of people would push this area, and they do, but you can actually stay relatively safe here because as they poke up, you can even keep them lit. But if they poke up much farther and come to take you out of the game, well, any of your guys here are going to be able to counter that, right? And if they really come up like all the way, you can just sit right here in this corner, and they almost have to come up far enough to the point where if you had tank destroyers or arty or whatever back here, they'll have shots as well. So it's actually a pretty safe area, and this works for me most times, right? Like I would say 90% of the time I can get to this area and make it work. And I will come out with a decent score. And the good thing about sitting here as well is that you have direct access to this roadway right here, which is very important. You have to be very cautious. So you're going to see I'm going to start moving now because I'm not really getting anything from here, which again I said is rare. But you got to be careful. I'm just going to stop real quick and show you. Watch out for this bush, guys, right here. The amount of times I have found like a Scorpion G, SU-130, at higher tiers, even like a Jagdpanzer E-100, ISU-152, whatever, sitting in that bush right there, be very careful of that bush because you will get whacked. So try and come like out and around as much as you can. And I do get lit here, but it's likely from the Type 59. I don't think anyone's sitting in that bush, but you will see later on that ISU is sitting over here. So now that the KPZ is pushing into this guy, unfortunately he gets lit on fire, but I'm going to go after this guy because I want him eliminated from the game, and I wanted to keep my KPZ in the game. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. He got lit on fire, but yeah. I guess he was pretty mad about that too. I didn't see this in the chat, but he said effing light. But hey, man, I'm doing my best here, right? I'm not a great player, guys. You know this. I'm a decent player, right? I don't claim to be a unicum over here. But in any case, we have the T-34-2. Arty's trying to take a shot here. I don't think he has the right angle to go over this ledge, but you never know with Arty, man. It happens. But I'm kind of waiting for the Boris here. He looks like a pretty good player, and I think together we might be able to eliminate the T-34-2. What I'm wondering at this point though, guys, do you notice something about the team lineup, and do you notice something about the map? Look at who's unspotted here. ISU 152K, Scorpion, T28, and where are the evens? There's 3 even 90s on their team. Where are the other 2 even 90s? This was going through my mind the whole game. I'm like, where are the even 90s. And as I'm poking this T-34-2, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, all right, maybe there's one more on the hill here. Maybe one of them is over here. Maybe one of them is like sitting maybe in this corner on this little bush right here. Maybe they're AFK. I don't know. All this is going through my mind, right? And then this even 90 appears. I'm like, oh, there's one. But then I'm thinking, wait, that's the dude who just came from the hill. So where are these even 90s, guys? It was crazy. You won't see them until the end of the game. I'm not going to spoil where they are, but you'll see. And it's kind of strange plays that they made, right? But you will see that. And again, we're just trying to poke the T-34-2 here. There's not much I can do at this point. Before I advance, because let me pause and I'll explain this to you guys real quick. The way that Cliff works is, as a light tank, you can take advantage of these areas of the map, but clearly I cannot do that until the T-34-2 is dead. If we're able to eliminate the T-34-2 from the game, as long as this Tornwagen isn't sitting like right on this corner, even if he's up here, that's fine. I have enough concealment where they won't spot me from probably this corner, but you can come up to here, grab this bush, and spot this entire area. And then if you win this entire portion of the map, you can even come right to here. So these are the two areas, guys. Let me draw this for you. You can sit like in this area and in this area, and you'll spot this entire thing out here, including the hill over here. This is really, really important. This hill is going to draw a big arrow right there. That hill right there where the TDs like to go. You will spot that from this bush over here. So try that out, but obviously we can't do that right now with the T-34-2 right in my face, right? So I'm just going to keep trying to pester and annoy this guy. There's really no risk of me poking right here because the tank destroyers in that corner do not have a clean shot because of the rock that's right here. Now T-34-2 decides to YOLO me here. This is a very bad decision because there's a Kari over here. The T-32 also has a shot. The Borisk, me, he runs into like 4 tanks overlapping fire, right? And he gets wrecked. So now that this guy is eliminated from the game very easily, I like to add, I'm going to start trying to advance here. But my concern is the even 90s. So I'm going to kind of start making a little play here. I'm timid, like I'm going really slow, seeing if I'm going to get lit or not. And then I'm going to poke up here. I see the 274A, and I'm going to hold my fire. I don't shoot this guy because I know, based on the distance, you saw that I kind of looked at him there and I saw the distance. I don't even remember what it was. It was like high 300s or something. But I saw the distance I was away from him and I'm like, no way this guy spots me. So I don't take that shot. Instead, I come straight to the bush here, as I was showing you before, and I'm going to spot Tornwagen, T-28. You'll eventually see I spot the ISU down here as well. And from here, we're safe. But I'm sitting here and I'm like terrified because I'm asking myself, where is the even 90? At any point, this even 90 can kind of like come up like this or something and spot me here, and I'm probably toast. So I'm sitting here, I'm like praying that I'm not going to encounter one of these even 90s because both of them have still not been lit on the map yet. And I'm also wondering where the Scorpion is too. Like, there's just a lot of question marks in this game that I like to point out for you guys and emphasize because this is what you have to do in a light tank. You know, people are always asking how to get better at lights, right? That's why I do this channel. And being a good light tank player is not even necessarily about just understanding the light tank role and all that. It's about looking at the team lineup and being very aware of everything that's going on in the game beyond just your play, right? You want to be looking at the team lineup. You want to be guessing what's going to happen in the coming minutes. You know, you almost have to have like a sixth sense for playing this class. That is why this class is so challenging, guys. I don't care who craps on you in the chat. Light tanks are extremely challenging in this game, and I want to drill that into your head so that when you get into a game, and even if you have an average game and some person in the chat is like, you know, crap light tank, you know, awful light tank, you guys suck, like, just ignore that, because I'm telling you, 90% of those people don't know how to play light tanks themselves. They think you're just supposed to run out and do all these little active scout runs like an EBR 105 does. They don't understand it. I'm telling you right now, this is how you have to be a good light tank player. You have to look at the team lineup, you have to know areas to go, you have to know how to play your tank and all, but you also have to be aware of everything that's going on the map. Look who's spotted, look who's unspotted. Think about what plays can be made from certain areas. Think about what plays enemies can make against you. every game, all the time. Like in your head, you just got to be doing this. Keep the wheels spinning at all times, guys, right? And that's how you're going to be a better light tank player. It's not always about map positioning and Superman crew, they like to call it. You know, obviously those things are going to help if you have an insane crew on your tank and all, but I'm telling you, keep your brain working when you play light tanks, and you're going to get much better at them. Just be aware all the time of your surroundings. Look at your maxi map, your mini map all the time. Like in a game, I'm telling you, probably more than half the time, and here we go, here's the even 90. I was even saying to this guy in the chat, I'm getting a little distracted with all this talk with you guys, but in the chat, you know, Hori is, where are the ELCs? And I'm finally said, all right, let's find out, and here's the ELC. So I just take the risk and I go after this guy. There's still one that's unspotted, but I'm going to go after this guy, and ISU is the only other one that's back here, so I'm staying safe from that guy. But again, guys, just always keep your brain working at all times, right? Just, it's so important. So I wait forever, and then I finally come around the corner, and ISU decides to take a shot into me. You know, he gets 26 HP out of that shot, and now the Scorpion and the Kyrie can YOLO him, and that's going to be the game. And eventually, the other even 90 is like sitting back here. I don't think he's AFK. I really don't. Let's see. I switch. Oh no, I remember now. He ends up being in this little corner, guys. So I'll show you because I switched to the other tanks eventually. He ends up being in like B8. Like you can get stuck in this little ditch here in B8. So let me fast forward until I switch over. So right here, he's right over here in this corner, switching to the Borisk. I know you can just click on them, but I like to just click continuously because I'm weird like that until I get to the right player. But Borisk is going to come down here and then watch this Hori. Comes running down like this and basically kills the Borisk. It was hilarious, man. Pretty entertaining end to the game. But that's the game, guys, on Cliff, and I hope this helps you understand Cliff better. Again, this is a challenging map for a light tank. I've seen Skill for LTU videos on this map of him playing lights, and he says that all the time. He's like, this map is really challenging and just really bad for lights because there's really nothing to do, right, early on. And you're kind of useless, but you can try what I did here. You can try and work the 6 line here, like E6, and get fancy with spotting people and all. You can try and follow people around this area and try and get into this little pocket over here in H9 if you're coming from the north spawn. Like, there's plays you can make, and I would encourage you to watch a lot of other CCs play this map. A lot of light tanks even like to try and spot the west, but I feel like this is just not effective because the west is the biggest stalemate of this entire map. People just sit in this bush right here, and I'll just draw that for you. People sit in this bush right here and this bush right here like the whole game and don't do anything, and it just, you know what I mean, it becomes a stalemate. So that's why I say when you get to this area up here where I started the game, you're in a really good situation because you have direct access to make this play once things clear up and spot everything that I spotted here. And what do we end up with, guys? Almost 3k spotting, and we got 1500 damage out of this. So they're light tanks. And again, their even 90 was sitting right here, so it's a great example of why I don't think this is a great play in an even 90. Like, it can work, but I just think you're kind of useless here as well. This is a map where you're likely going to feel useless in a light tank until the game progresses enough where you can actually safely do something. And that's the case on a lot of maps, but it's certainly the case on this one. So again, to summarize, guys, always keep the wheels turning in here. Okay, just keep it moving, always be looking at the mini-map. And before I get interrupted, I was going to say, because I wanted to show you guys where the even 90 was, I probably look at the mini-map more than I look at my actual tank when I play World of Tanks. If I had to guess, it's like a 60-40 or something. I swear to you, I look more at the mini-map in a game than I look at the actual game. So just always be watching the mini-map, guys. Let's take a look at the emplates and I'll let you go because this is probably becoming a fairly long video. I think this is from last replay I did. So this was a second class game, 28-22, spotting 15-11 damage. We had 2 kills, and again, only a second class game because the LT-432, the ease of marking is not easy. I'll just say that. 1,000 experience out of that. Like on some tanks, this is a first class 1,061 experience, 2 kills, 15-11 damage. Like, yeah, man. But in any case, and by the way, the classes go by experience, in case any of you were wondering that. So that's how that's calculated. And man, yeah, like 1,061 experience. I feel like that should be a first class. But the LT-432 is just such a powerful tank, man. It's got really high values. So it is the case. 2,668 damage for their Scorpion, man. He played a pretty good game. And I guess the even 90, one of the even 90s, maybe this was the guy that went to the hill. He had 2 kills, 817 damage, and must have had a good amount of spotting if he's up top here. So he played all right. But yeah, that's about all, guys. I'll show you the detailed report. This is it right here. And that's all. Like, that's all for this game. And yeah, we fired 15 shots. We hit 13, pen 9, and made 2,200 coin out of this somehow. I don't know how, but because of the consumables and ammo. But that's what we got, guys, and that's it. I hope you learned from this. I hope it helps you on this map. If you do enjoy the content, sub, guys. It'll really help me out. Like, comment, share the video. That helps it get recommended more. And I want more people to see these videos. I want you guys to be comfortable on your light tanks. I'm tired of players being crapped on, like especially new players trying to play lights. I'm so tired of people crapping on light tanks, man. Like, this community is a good community. It's just the chat is so toxic in game that I would urge you guys to don't turn the chat off, but just ignore people, man. Like, just, you have to ignore people. Don't let these people trigger you, man. Because again, like I said, 9 times out of 10, these people that complain about light tanks being bad are usually not good themselves. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Take care. I'll catch you for the next one, guys. Bye-bye now.